Yuri sings, I am Lies, and I use she, her.
And I am Scandal, and I use they, them.
And let's play a game together.
Yes.
Oh, it occurs to me that we made all those cute little, jokes about, having like the purse worm and such like that. But that courtier isn't actually coming.
Yeah, no, I know.
But Nadia mentioned worms, and I still thought it was really funny.
Well, yeah, of course.
So I was enjoying it anyway.
Nadia leads me through a meandering path in the garden, our arms linked together. The garden is lively today, almost vibrating with energy, drinking up the sun. There are many, many, many bugs.
I have two other experiences of ever being in this garden, but this time is exemplary compared to those data points.
Brilliant! I'm always amazed how, aggressive your MC is about making decisions. They're going, this is amazing! You're like, I mean, you've literally been here once or twice.
And they're going, this is so different than those other times. And you're going, it could be. But why is it notable?
Right? A flock of birds takes off from a nearby tree as we pass, swooping through the air in joy, or feasting upon all the bugs, because bugs, nice, brilliant day, it's fine.
Or just swooping through the air. How do you know their emotional state?
At all! They could be running from something. They could be enjoying the breeze. Animals do actually play, which is a thing that people have had to come to terms with for years now.
But a lot of times, if it's a big group, it can just be, there was a thing, we all got to the big frighten, we all saw the food.
Yeah.
And a lot of times people project their own emotions onto what they're perceiving. And I don't perceive RMC to be in a state of joy and bliss in this exact moment.
Yeah, or just kind of going, I seem so ridiculously happy.
Because what I'm getting from that text, expositionally, is very much your MC's in a great mood. I've gone to the garden with the person I'm working for. And, but for them, the person I'm involved with and I admire and I enjoy. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, we're not at that spot.
I still don't understand what the fuck happened in this route, where it went from Nadia being really explicit about, hey, can we do this thing? Would you like to do this thing? Let's have communication.
Let's
and then
be
it was just
involved.
Completely fucking dropped, and I don't know why. I'm actually really surprised, because we both mentioned it, going, wow, she's actually fucking talking about it, going, hey, this thing, let's do this. And you're like, whoa.
Instead of a casual, I guess we're not dating, angst.
Yeah, exactly. And you're like, what? When were we ever dating?
Right. We had that with Julian all the time. And then
That's so
I
irritating.
think that was the conversation.
Yeah.
I think that conversation was the entire experience of, now you're in a relationship, which isn't enough for me, but it's apparently enough for this game. Hey, when this is all over, I should like to walk with you in this garden again. That sounds so dramatic, though. That sounds like we're hitting the climax of an action movie. We're about to go to our deaths, or potential deaths. When this is all over, I'd like to, if we survive, subtext not mentioned, walk with you in this garden again. I've heard that in so many dramatic movie times.
The setup is amazing here.
But for now, we'd best return. I believe we've made the courtiers wait long enough.
That was a really short walk.
I mean, you could imply it's as long as you want, because basically Corazon has been wandering through the garden long enough to go, I got a sense of the tone of the garden and what it's doing, and it's filled with life and vibrance, and I saw these birds and got an idea of things. So you imagine a lengthy stroll.
Are you really still going to bring up, that you're basically paying for a prompt?
That they're basically giving you an idea that this went on for a little while, without ever telling you it went on for a little while, or giving you the experience of it.
I'm fine.
It's okay.
I'm just tired. Alright, I am. Together we stroll back to the palace.
And we have to stroll, because I'm a bit stiff.
We pause on the veranda, in front of the big white doors that lead into the dining room. Nadia looks around, and then pulls me off to the side, next to an ivy-covered wall.
I just hang on. We head back to the palace. We go up into the palace and up on and out onto the veranda. And around to where we see a door that leads into where we need to go.
And
so
then
we skirted outside around where we needed to go so we could enter from the outside door.
Alright, so this is also, though, a matter of where I get a little bit annoyed, where characters you go, why couldn't you have fucking said that earlier? Maybe I could have said this on the walk back. Oh yeah, by the way, this thing. Now, I understand sometimes people forget, but it's so common because people go, what we want to do is move you to where the action is and then have the breakdown of what's going to happen.
And tell the player at that point.
Yeah, and
so
you're
the player is surprised. Okay, so when
Yeah.
when I DM games, when I GM roleplay games for other people, one of the things I try and do is strike a balance between your character lives in this world, there's shit they already know, And you, the player, are going to be surprised by all of this cool shit that your character really already knows.
Yes.
And balance that exposition. When you're in a first-person position inside a character's head, such as in these games, which is not how it works in role-playing games with a big group.
Yeah.
You have a really strong like balance to strike between, I want the person reading this to be able to have, experiences in a way that I tailor them, and the character that's in the story should already know that.
But again, this is also the thing that we've talked about before, going, are you writing towards the player or are you writing towards the character? Like,
Right.
it's like, are you actually trying to write a story or are you just trying to write towards the assumed player experience?
Right. Are we writing, actually from the character's perspective, or are we just telling things to the player?
Yeah.
And in this kind of case, this makes Nadia seem disorganized,
To
or
me,
like she wasn't
yeah.
including the MC.
Yeah.
Anyway, Volta and Volgora are waiting for us just inside. I have had a feast prepared.
A whole feast.
But they haven't been allowed to eat it. They've been waiting, staring at it. One of them dying aggressively. Oh, sorry. But we need a plan of attack, which we did not discuss at all on our garden break, because it was a break.
Can I hit my head hard enough, like, at all? This is again where I'm like, I get people making mistakes and making errors and going, oh god, yeah, this thing, we need this thing. And you're like, why wouldn't you have brought it up? Because you already clearly skipped the walk back.
Okay, let me give this a second.
It's fine.
Let me pitch this as if it belongs to Nadia as a character, okay?
Okay.
Nadia has talked continually through the entire route about how she is an island that does absolutely everything in the parts of her life that she can remember by herself, for herself, about herself.
No, I see where you're going. Okay, so the idea is that in the end, she's so used to only having herself, and then she has to remember at the last minute, oh yeah, I need to bring you in on this.
Right, because I'm going to think of you as an extension of me, and then I'll realize, oh, you don't have all the information I have, but only when it comes down to it.
Yes, and then you go, Nadia.
Exactly.
Nadia.
So this fits with her as a character.
Yes.
Though I still find it rude.
Yes.
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 Okay.
Aye.
A plan of attack.
Aye.
Their stories do not line up with what Asra and Muriel told us about the night of the murder.
Let alone
what the other courtiers
have told
who have already
you.
directly contradicted themselves, so it has to not line up with at least one of theirs, since the two of them don't line up with each other.
Honey, please!
Let alone themselves.
Please! Go ahead.
I'm letting you know, Corazon, their stories don't match the other unmatched stories we have. In case you didn't know.
These two have supposedly a unified front, but also at the same time they might not, because you could make an argument that Asra was deliberately leading Muriel and going, Muriel, it was this thing.
See, and I think that's why I keep getting pulled out of any kind of suspension of disbelief in this game, because either she genuinely believes that your character doesn't remember, or this is the flashback, the game reminding you this is what's going on.
Right.
And if she genuinely believes that the MC doesn't remember, she doesn't really think very highly of them.
I mean,
Either
it
that,
is also...
or she could just be emotionally rehashing it for herself.
Yes.
But saying it out loud to you, because again, you are part of me, and so I'm saying this in my head to myself, but I'm saying it out loud to you.
And I've run into people who've basically been in higher up positions where they really do reiterate something you ran into 4 minutes ago. Because they're really just like, I really need to make sure everybody, including myself, really remembers this. And then, of course, they forget, and you're the one who remembers, and then they blame you for it.
See, I do that with big groups. Not the second half, but the first half of going, I just did a huddle with everybody. And 10 minutes later, on the line, after everyone's done handoff and pass down, I go back to the 4 people that were most concerned with the thing that I said and go, hey, so this thing that I'm going to reiterate that just happened and what we all agreed on, we're still doing that, right? And usually only one of them will actually remember that was the thing.
Yes.
Because a lot happened between then and now.
And that's the big thing, though, to remember, too. It is really a breakdown of trying to drag people back and going, okay, I know a lot of things have happened, so let's bring us back to where we are. Let's bring it back home.
Do not line up. And frankly, I'm more willing to believe the court is full of liars. You've met them.
Right, yes.
Okay, more willing than Asra and Muriel, I suppose. But I want to know exactly what they're hiding. That's not going to happen. We must be careful. We cannot show our hand. That's why I have these gloves. And we cannot be too direct, either. They will surely skitter back into the shadows if we call them out, even though they work in the palace and have to be here regularly. Oh, no, it's fine. It would be unwise to trust them. Corazon.
It would be also unwise to trust basically options that I don't know what the tone of are, and also this means I trust them. So we've had this problem with this game before, and we've mentioned going, what do you mean by that tonal choice?
By these words or that words, I don't know what they mean.
Yeah, especially when you have some sort of setup like this. I'm like, great, now I have to basically try to guess Which one?
I have felt like the game is deliberately vague in cases to encourage you to go, yeah, but now that you understand what it is, after you've picked it, you can go around again and pick the one you would have liked to pick.
Yes, because well, I mean, with a lot of games, sometimes it is meant to do that because they want to have replayability kind of thing. Mm-hmm. But in this case, the reason why I take this more severely is because I go, this is a pay game. It's a game that eventually, in the end, they really hope that you will pay for something.
I would say deliberately befuddling your player, though, just for replayability so they can get back and go, but I didn't want that option, is a little bit, it's frustrating to me.
Yes.
All right, so what shall we do?
And the thing is because you can't easily go back in this game at all. Oh my god, you guys. So one time, experimentally, so I have this game also on my other device.
Yes.
And I have papped through it a couple times because we've also had to check some of the endings and stuff to see, like, where the beginning and the end of a paid scene is.
Yeah, the paid scenes are,
And it's really like, and then I was like, okay, and then I'll move to this one, and it's like, oh god, you're not allowed to leave the chapter until the chapter is done, that particular section. And even then, if you dare go one beyond it on accident because you're clicking through because you're so goddamn bored,
you're locked into the next chapter.
You're locked into the next one, and it's just like, please end me.
And you can't just go back, it's your chapter selection, and pick one. Yeah,
yep, no. Can't even do it.
On the other hand, Genius games work the same way, except for you can't even have any chapter selection at all.
Uh-huh.
It's just, replay this chapter or go back to the end.
Yes.
And you have to go through the whole game to get to a different chapter again.
Yes.
All right, anyway. So, Corazon, do you have a plan, or are you going to look to Nadia? Because in this case, I would tend to think Corazon as being like, I've been thinking about this for a really long time now, because you posited this days ago.
Yeah, of course I have a plan. There's a level of, I have a plan.
Yes.
But also, this seems, do you have a plan? I have a plan. What is your plan and what is mine, and we will work with them together. Yeah, also me just dropping, it's fine.
Yeah, but yeah, Corazon would have a plan, but saying, do you have a plan? Sounds very submissive, if you will.
Yes, I have a plan.
I do enjoy it when you're so capable. Corazon.
Why didn't we fucking talk about this earlier on the I'm fine.
So then, as we are outside the door, and we assume no one can
we said they waited
us,
way too fucking long. I'm sorry, this is what bugs me. I'm like, you really could have just talked about it in the garden.
Or on the way back, when going, I did the sort of companionable walk in the garden where I didn't want to be working, I wanted to be ignoring work. And then on the way back, you talk about
what happened to your happenstance of, we could have been a British, English couple from a couple hundred years ago, just strolling through the garden, having a conversation. All right, what's your plan? What's the plan?
Aggressively going, we'll talk all the espionage as we have this brisk garden stroll. Yes.
Let's have a brisk walk through the garden, Lizzie. Yes. Here we go.
We'll just take a turn about the garden.
Yes. Oh, just a turn. You won't tell me all the details right now.
Yes. It's okay. I'm just going to take it for a turn around the car. Foosh. Yum. That was so good. All right. So then, what is the plan?
I'll read their tarot. The cards could give us some insight. Good to know my character's fucking thinking about this. This is again where I'm like, your character, you're inside your character's head, and I just.
They're not sharing anything with you.
It's fine.
But it's okay. But also, I'm just like, okay, the plan is I'll read the cards to them. But going, we don't want to put them off, or startle them, or make them feel as if we're doing anything unusual. We need to keep them calm. We need to have a real solid approach. Do we know what either of them think about tarot cards?
At all?
Or magic? Or having their fortunes read in any way? Because some people are super suspicious of that sort of thing.
Some people are very sus. Also, and some people are also like, I am deeply discomforted by the presence of anything potentially mystical, or I'm going to be completely dismissive, and actually I will shut down because I will think that you are a stupid idiot. And then so you obstruct yourself in another way. This just seems random.
I was going to say, given that Corazon knows very little about them, unless you're reading their tarot out here before we go in, which I doubt, this sounds very weird.
Yeah,
all right,
I don't get it. Insight. When I was at Gloucester Mills, I felt like there was something I wasn't seeing. The Arcana help uncover what's underneath.
Beneath. They do? I mean, I would have never thought of that. I heard an actual magician, apprentice, who can do these things, and it never occurred to me that you might do these things.
Wow.
An excellent idea. You will use your magic and uncover what they are hiding. I did not literally say that. I said I will read the cards and see what they can tell me. Nope, you will uncover the entirety of what they're hiding.
Nadia, you don't know
with your magic.
Nadia.
Cast magic to make them speak a truth. You know what? It will reveal to you exactly what they're hiding underneath the surface.
Nadia, the tarot cards talk in riddles because they're made by Asra.
No, Asra spoke very plainly in Muriel's hut. This will be fine.
No, it's riddles.
In the meantime, I shall see if I can trick them into admitting anything aloud. Because I can't really use your magic as proof in court. You know? Also
magic is a big, huge thing in this world, and it's an actual thing, you know, but I can't really reliably, like, I love that concept. You can't use this in court. I was like, oh my god. Actually, though, I've been so pissed in games where they're like, we can't figure anything out. And you're like, I literally have god magic that tells me shit. Then, God, we don't know what we're doing. You. Oh my god.
Or here's the god magic that gives me the answer. Wow, what a profound, important answer. And
we can't use it.
And they go, and if it's true, it would mean this other thing, which means we should go investigate that to see if your profound god magic that's infallible is true.
Also, at the same time, too, what bugs me about, like, when you introduce magic into worlds, it is repeatable magic, like, period. As long as you can do it, for the most part, everybody gets the same fucking response out of it, so why wouldn't you use it?
Because it's science, then.
Yeah,
it is science, then.
Even
anyway,
if it's a fantastical...
I also love I have a plan. Here's what I'm going to do. And her going, oh, wonderful, amazing, stunning.
You do your thing. Bye, I'm going to go over here.
And then going, and also I will do this thing, because, you know, it's very important to...
I mean, it's called a coordinated attack. It's sort of a three-prong, you do this thing, I'll do this thing. We're both having a goal that we're working towards. It's fine. It works in its own way, but it's also still strange.
Do you think the cards will not get them to admit anything aloud? So many people, I have read your fortune. It is exactly the thing. Your entire business is put out there for rote. Someone, oh my god, that's not how it is.
Yeah, I'd like people. So a fun thing about like psychology that I've learned about people: tell them something ridiculous, like just basically ridiculous enough that is distinctly untrue, and they will totally go, no! They will correct you.
And they will tell
you the
even if it incriminates them.
Yes.
Yes.
And that's actually a big thing of how scammers get away with stuff like that whenever you talk to them on the phone or on, like, online. They really will walk you into...
Hello, is this Mrs. Needle Meyerson? And you say, it's Nellie Mearson. Like, oh, thank you.
Right, like, I'm not kidding. They will walk you through and they will get all your information by just going, I just have this slightly off, or they have a close approximation, or they're going, oh, I'm looking for this person, and they go, oh, this one. And you're like, oh, I'm sorry, I had the you know, and then you'll just basically get piece by piece.
That person doesn't live here. Oh, well, is there someone who knows them who lives there? Or, oh, who am I speaking to then? Yeah, it's all there. Portia shall keep my sisters away from the courtiers until we finish with them, which you already know because we established that together.
Siblings.
When I told her. Siblings.
Yeah,
I was going to say, it's not sisters, though. It's siblings.
Unless Nenzali's not there.
Okay, and it could be just sisters.
But I did actually go back and look at it myself, and I was like, oh, yeah. It does say sisters.
Portia said sisters.
Like, and it says distinctly, one of your sisters came. A doctor. Nenzali. And I went...
Yeah, that is not a sister, unless it's they, them identified sister, which would be a complex conversation for this game that they haven't had.
Yeah, no, absolutely. The other thing is that also I find to be interesting about that is going like, I actually talked to my friend a little bit about that even today, where I was like, what if they just went, oh my god, guys, like later when they were writing, they were like, hey, we could have a non-binny.
A non-beanie sibling.
Yeah!
So I know we did 7 sisters like the rainbow, but one of them, you know, it'd be unusual for all of them to gender exactly the same in a world where gender doesn't matter.
Yeah!
So one of them can be non-beanie. And then the like shorthand writing all said sisters, even though that's not what it is.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, I would think if you're going to have a they, them identified, also sister identified person, again, you'd have to have a heavier conversation about that. It'd have to be more complex.
Yes.
All right. So keep my siblings away from the courtiers until we're finished with them. Because I seriously doubt Nadia. Like, Portia, I don't picture misgendering Nenzali. Because that's the first person she met in reference to Nadia.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I certainly don't picture Nadia doing it, going, I am trying so hard to be better and more than all of my sisters. I'm not going to degrade any of them because that would be tacky and I need to be better than that.
Right.
You know.
Also, it's just like, why would you do that?
Yeah, why would you do that? Look, Stu. Come.
I see.
Corazon, really?
When we arrive at the dining room, the courtiers are already there.
They would have to be. They've been waiting there for hours.
Why are you so fucking redundant?
Like, Nadia specifically. I'm going to make them wait and sweat for hours. If they weren't here while they were waiting, they would be... We had them wait in another room, I guess?
Like, the thing is the way to avoid this is to actually talk about what the courtiers are doing. Not just go, the courtier's already there! You literally just said that maybe, 3 or 4 lines ago.
Additionally, going, okay, they're behind this door, so they'd have to already be there, because this door goes to this room.
Uh-huh.
But also going, we're making them wait. Are we making them wait somewhere different, because we're making them wait there? They've been there the whole time.
It would be we arrive in the dining room. And see the courtiers there.
Yes.
Sort of thing. Not just going, the courtiers are already, it just is dumb. To me, it just doesn't work. Volta has gathered all the food around her into the table, leaving the other side barren.
Because no one stops her.
She's nibbling steadfastly on everything in front of her, barely pausing to speak.
Okay, so here's why would she speak at all? Why would she pause to speak at all? There's no one there to talk to her unless she's talking to the other
one of your siblings, maybe?
The other courtier?
No,
because the siblings are away from them, remember? We have to keep the siblings separate.
Portia, yeah.
So you should only have the 2 courtiers in this room. But also, Nadia's kitchen staff. If this is an entire royal kitchen staff...
It would be barely pausing to breathe. Don't just speak, just breathe.
So if one person took and collected their entire spread over to one end of the table, it would be customary to fill the rest of the table.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Not to go, I guess it's just all been collected over there. You go, all right, we're going to cook more things and fill the other part of the table, because this is all stuff that you're not going to then serve to your countess by pulling it from the person who's been nibbling on it and then giving it to the countess.
Yeah, that's...
So it'd be like she has collected a massive amount of food around her, and the rest of the table is, so packed you can't stand it.
Yeah, because the big thing...
the courtier, or the kitchen staff is currently refilling the rest of the table.
But I hope they are, because that's wooed.
Yes, wooed.
I understand that they were like, no, but this is supposed to be ridiculous and sort of funny, and it's like, but in order to be polite...
But if she has a professional staff, this wouldn't happen like this.
Yeah, it wouldn't. It's fine. Because also the other thing is, too, is there is a literal terminal, height that you can pile food on that side.
Right, and so eventually Volta would run out of the ability to keep putting things over there as they kept adding more food, and eventually the entire table would be stacked that way if she just continued to Katamari it down to that end of the table.
Mm-hmm. And Volgora has not sat yet, instead pacing the long room while waving their arms wildly.
Waving wildly.
Alright, so last time I actually played both of these characters.
I know! I should probably do one of them so you're not doing 3 people in this scene.
I mean, I've talked to myself before, and you've talked to yourself before, but, I don't know how much you want to talk.
Honestly, I don't mind. I really liked what you came up with for both of them. I was gonna say, and I hope Nadia's gonna have a large piece in this.
I imagine, because she has to talk because you won't. That's how it always works. The love interest will then take over.
This is about her experience. On the other hand, if you're going to read the cards, that's going to happen.
Yes.
I think we'll be okay.
I think we'll be fine.
I think we'll be all right.
Then they ask for mercy. And do you know what I said, small and tiny Volta?
They are talking to each other.
Oh no! I do not know what you said. Dear Volgora, and I do not care.
That's so good.
I said no! And then I smashed their puny hopes and dreams!
Mm-hmm.
Nadia gives me an exasperated look as she moves towards the head of the table.
I feel like we'd have been able to hear them when we were standing outside the door on the balcony with this level of enthusiasm.
The thing is that character to me, Volgora has never been a quiet bitch.
Mm-mm.
Ever.
A loud
bitch. That is an angry... I speak in all caps. That is just what I get out of my character all the time.
Yes.
Constantly. And that's why all the other ones are hey.
I just love that. How does this character speak? In all caps.
Constantly. All caps and exclamation points. That is all they are to me. Head of the table.
Head of the table. The empty head of the table, I imagine.
Yes.
All right. What an unpleasant story, Volgora. I want her just sweeps into the room and heads dismissively towards the front of the table, or as if it's exactly the right time to be there, kind of thing. And just, I apologize for our tardiness. Were you waiting long? Why would you acknowledge your tardiness at all?
Because you're the Countess. You don't care.
I was gonna say, unless you're trying to specifically go, oh no, we were slightly late. And I'm mocking you, kind of thing.
Yes.
But if you want to put them off guard, why would you mention it at all? Just assume you're on time.
Yeah, I'm actually, that's weirdly submissive. And I know some people go, oh, no, she's apologetic. Why would she be apologetic? She is the Countess.
I was going to say, and also, 1, she doesn't need to be apologetic, but 2, if she's literally going, we need to catch them off guard, but not set off their defensive responses, saying, I'm in the wrong, I'm sorry, is going to put them socially on higher ground than you, and thereby make them more defensive or assertive, kind of thing. Generally, that's what that does. Going, oh, well, you've already committed a faux pas, so I'm going to be aggressive towards you.
Yeah.
And That's not a good setup for I want information out of you.
It could be more complex than that, so I've played characters, like, and I've mentioned that before, that have basically that sort of noble aristocrat thing. When you're playing that sort of a game, it also depends on who's there. Mm-hmm. Some people will go, God, I am insulted that you even recognize that you were late, kind of thing. So apologizing also puts them in an awkward position because you're also supposed to be on top, and I don't know what to do when you're beneath me.
When you are apologizing to me who's beneath you,
and also at the same time, too, you going, now I am discomforted because the big bunny is going, hello?
You're in charge.
I'm so late. I'm so sorry. And you're like, oh God, what am I doing?
Now I don't know what anyone's doing anymore. All right. Yeah. Were you waiting long?
But I don't see Volta or Volgora giving a single fuck about that.
Yeah,
Oh, no, Countess. It was not so long a wait with so much delectable food to devour.
No.
But we're almost out of it.
That face is amazing.
There is plenty of food left on the table. In fact, I haven't seen such bountiful feasts outside of the palace before.
Yeah, because
bountiful feasts? Is it a single feast?
I haven't seen such bountiful feasts. I would think a feast, but that might be a way to use that word. I feel like I've seen it that way before, and it always felt weird to me.
Like, I'm just saying, like, tonally wise, like, it's fine. It does work as a sentence, but I'm going, I haven't seen such bountiful feasts outside of the palace before.
Outside the palace.
The palace before? That's what I said. Outside the palace before?
You said of the. It's okay.
No, I said the.
It's fine.
It's okay.
Anyway, I was like, yeah, it feels a little odd, but shrug. I shall send for more. Then? She's deferring again. I'm questioning you as to what choice I should make in this area. Which I still feel... Okay, I feel like this would also be another scene.
I mean, deferring is a way to set up people. Anyway.
It might be, but it also feels very weird of going... I'm not going to go, oh no, there's plenty, or absolutely I shall get more, or going, well, the kitchens are well stocked, asserting my position. She's going, oh, pause, I shall send for more. Then, it's like, it feels like she's very much been thrown off by this.
Yeah, and I don't...
Instead of being more assertive, and that would also feel weird since, I think for the MC, based on the entire setup so far, this would feel weird. Because one, she's gone, we need to go in there and take charge and have the situation, under our hand, kind of thing. And then two, she's going, I've really literally only ever asked you for advice or permission and no one else.
Yeah.
And now I'm going to defer to this person.
But it's also, again, I'm going like, I shall send for more then. Of being like, you don't even know who these people are. Like, your weird level of, I will defer to you. Like, okay, so there is a way of, like, the Japanese, for example, business style of speaking is a lot about deferring and basically expecting you to infer basically behaviors. It is considered to be respectful to, for example, go, oh, no, I couldn't, I never could, kind of thing. Like, you have a lot of the way the language is, but I don't know, this is fine. It
just feels weird.
It does feel weird.
Countess, you are so kind and considerate. Thank you. I was starving.
Nadia raises an eyebrow, and then sits down at the head of the table.
Which is empty.
She nods to the chair on her right side, and I settle down next to her. Both of the courtiers gasp at once, 3 eyes fixed intently on me. Because Volta actually has a dead eye, is what it looks like.
Yes.
I see you have brought your pet.
Excuse me. I believe I misheard you.
That is a warning.
You didn't.
Okay,
I'm Beetlejuice, fuck you.
Let's kill you.
You didn't. Why are they still here anyways? Surely you've grown tired of their incompetence, Countess.
They're not incompetent at all, which suggests I'm defensive and actually playing your game rather than in charge of this situation. Poor thing, she really doesn't have her footing in any of this.
Either that, or again, what they think they're trying to set up is a very powerful character, and for you and I, based on everything we've ever interacted with, this does not come across as a powerful character at all. She sounds defensive, she sounds awkward, she sounds very accommodating, and very much easy to bowl over. This is not a scene that I would write.
I was going to say, and if there is this being... By being defensive, I am being powerful. I'm not familiar with that convention.
I mean, who the fuck would dare usually, for example, in most, like, historical fiction or whatever else, would dare, or even fantasy or sci-fi, dare counter the king or the emperor or whatever thing that was higher than you. If you did that, you were slowly basically going, oh, you're going to get killed in the next 5 minutes.
And I get that, but also, again, the characters that I've known that are comfortable in their power and have that sort of quick thinking on their feet kind of thing don't really get thrown off. Someone goes, I'll challenge your power immediately. I'm so much better than you and your choices are shit. And they go, let me demonstrate the function of my choices without even acknowledging you kind of thing. Or the conversation is moving on this way and also I'll burn you slightly, but without being defensive.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like, defensiveness to me suggests discomfort. Anyway,
Yeah.
they're not incompetent at all. In fact, they're quite a powerful magician.
Volta and Volgora both lean forward at the same time, interest dancing in their eyes.
Volta into the food. Bonk.
Nom, 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 nom.
Leans forward so they can eat the food without their hands.
Their attention sufficiently captured, Nadia smiles and sets the trap.
Corazon, why don't you show them?
And again, it could be a casual lead-in. I'm not sure.
And again, it just feels weird to me. It doesn't mean that it can't work. It's just something I'm not used to for a powerful character. Again, like, one of my most powerful characters that my friend is very familiar with, when he is challenged on, oh, are you in charge? He doesn't get defensive because he's not prideful of any of it. He's not insecure in any way at all. So there's no sense of pride that you can step on by insulting him because he just is completely aware that you're wrong. Like, there's no self-esteem to interact
I mean,
with.
that could be also a way in that sense of what Nadia responding, as she has, to go, I'm setting you up to basically counter me and go, oh, I'm going to actually go then for the challenge that I issue. So
Going, oh, use the
I'm
same.
baiting you.
You know what? Let me try it. Let me show you what they can do. And everyone goes, well, only, only so you can, you'll prove me right.
right.
Maybe?
Yeah, like I said, it could be a setup.
Okay.
Like, but to me, I kind of feel you in that way. I feel like it should be a little bit more elegant than, I don't know, it's fine.
It's okay. Maybe this is supposed to demonstrate again how out of her depth and out of place she is, because she's mentioned, I don't know what I'm doing here because I don't remember anything.
Well, I could read your fortune with the cards.
The cards. The only ones that exist ever.
That I got from Asra. For me.
How frightening, please. You must tell me, do I have food in my future?
Gently kettling all the food towards themselves. Oh God! What if the cards say I don't have any food?
Silence, Volta! They're going to read my fortune. Tell me, have any battles in the near future?
Well, we're gonna have to find out about both of those answers
In the next one! Hi! Thank you very much, everybody, for joining us. If you like what we do, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and also share our videos if you're having a good time with us. Please also feel free to go check out our Ko-Fi and our Patreon. We have some links in the description down below, and we also have a Twitch if you would like to join us live.
and
where
hang
we
out with us.
Yeah, it's fun! We have a good time. But yeah, other than that,
You
I have been Scandal.
and I have been Lies.
And it was great playing with you! Bye!